Hi, my name is Jennifer Santos. I've been a childbirth educator in Central New Jersey since 1999, a doula for nearly 10 years, and I graduated the Rutgers University College of Nursing Honors Accelerated program in October of 2010. I've had a passion for birth and birth advocacy since the birth of my first child in 1997. Since then, I have taught over 100 students in the Central New Jersey area, attended dozens of women as a doula, and worked very closely with certified nurse midwives and obstetricians in my community. My ultimate goal in becoming a nurse was always to become a certified nurse midwife. I have been greatly enriched and humbled by working with women from all walks of life, from Spanish-speaking urban teenagers to Princeton University faculty members. A large percentage of Western women have become culturally cut off from the body of wisdom about childbirth that was once passed from grandmother to mother to daughter. So, in that sense, every time we work with a woman, no matter what her socioeconomic background, her culture, or her age, we are working with a disadvantaged population. Women need to connect with their partners around the time of childbirth, but also with other women, and the midwifery care model considers both of those connections extremely important. Women who are also socially or economically disadvantaged can be facing almost insurmountable deficits in accessing care and the kind of support they need during the time of childbirth. Midwives have been stepping into that role in communities for a long time. I think that speaking Spanish gives me an enormous opportunity to work with communities where women are underserved and to work with midwives who are committed to serving those women. One disadvantage that I'm facing is that I am a recent nursing graduate and I don't have a lot of experience on the floor. I will draw on my experience serving birthing women and their families in other roles. The accelerated program at Rutgers definitely taught me to think on my feet and learn things quickly. In addition, I do have the midwives in my community whom I've known for many years and who've always been a great source of support for me, and I feel very fortunate for that. Juggling my 3 children, ranging in age from 14 down to 12 months, has taught me a lot of valuable skills in and of itself. I will balance my family and my schoolwork using the same skills that will make me a good nurse midwife, using woman-to-woman and family support, reaching out to others in my community who have more experience, and careful time management. Several years ago, I had a client who was birthing her first baby. She arrived at the hospital in the morning, already 6 to 7 centimeters, but she stayed there for a very long time. The midwife told her that there was light meconium staining in her water, but not to worry about it, that the baby might need to be suctioned at birth, and she could proceed normally. When the shift changed and a new midwife came on, the new midwife suggested that since she'd been at 6 to 7 centimeters all day long, she start Pitocin. The client didn't want to do this, and she'd said so before her labor started. She preferred to try other methods to naturally augment her labor. So I suggested she get into the tub. Within 90 minutes, she was fully dilated, and an hour later pushed out her 9-pound, 14-ounce baby girl. Unfortunately, the hindwaters were full of meconium, and the baby had aspirated. She needed an emergency transfer to the regional level 3 NICU, and her mom couldn't follow until the next day. The midwife took me out in the hall and criticized me for talking her out of Pitocin. I was beside myself. I thanked her for the feedback as politely as I could. I reviewed my notes with the nurse's charts and pored over my information for days, trying to figure out what I could have done differently. Years later, the same midwife and I worked another birth, and she apologized to me. She shared with me that at that birth, she was coming off a leave of absence because of the death of her son in an accident, and her first shift back was such a difficult and trying situation. From that birth, I learned about the power of a jacuzzi to open up a woman, about working as a team, and about humbling yourself to the moment and releasing judgment. Though I have served many women at home and in hospitals, with midwives and obstetricians, in birthing tubs, and in operating rooms, my own 3 birth experiences have lit a passion in me for serving other women in birth, no matter what circumstances arise. My first child was born via natural birth with a monitress and an obstetrician in a hospital. My second birth was a Pitocin induction, posterior labor, culminating in a vaginal birth with a doula and a certified nurse midwife in a hospital. My third child was a planned home birth with a certified nurse midwife, turned Pitocin induction in the hospital, turned cesarean section after almost 6 hours of pushing. Then, my child was taken to the NICU for 12 hours before I even got to meet her. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life, and even though I'm still grieving that experience, I have something else of great importance that I can share with the women I serve.